Alright guys, so we're working on this 2016 Mini Cooper Clubman, and we're going to be doing the replacement of the turn signals. This vehicle uses the 1156 ambers, but the actual lens is red. So normally we recommend use a red bulb for that because it'll penetrate the red lens better. But at this moment we're still working on that. We only have our non-hyperflash bulbs on the amber. So we're going to be using the T-Series 1156 pure amber. And right now we'll show you a comparison of the originals before we actually install the LEDs. Okay, so we activate the turn signals. These are the stock halogen bulbs right now. Okay, and put the emergency. Right, and we'll show you how to do this real quick. It's very simple and we'll get it done in less than 5 minutes. Okay, so these will be your lights we're going to be using, and we got the 1156 ambers for the turn signals. Okay, so all you're going to do is pretty easy. They made it very simple to work with this vehicle. You're going to remove this panel. It's going to be the same panel on the passenger side. You just want to get a flathead just to help you get started. I like to start from the corner. I found it easier when you start from this corner and start prying out. So we're gonna put it right here in this little opening. Not sure if you guys can see that right there. There's a little opening right here, okay? If you got strong fingers, you should be able to just pull it off like that. But in case you can't get it out, because maybe it's a little bit more of a tight fit, more flush, then using a flathead, just get it started by pulling it up and then you can just start popping it out, okay? It's held on by these little compressed clips. So just take your time. If it gets stuck, don't force it. Just take your time, wiggle it out until it pops out. It's like that, you'll avoid damaging anything. Then we'll put that to the side. And this right here is all your light bulbs, okay? They're held on by this plastic bracket. And the way you're gonna get to it is by pretty much first disconnecting the connector. This is where that flathead will come in handy. Push in the plug and pull the cable out, just like that. And then you can put that to the side. And then you're gonna be pressing these 3 clips. It'll be 1, 2, and 3, okay? So we'll start from the corner. Just press it down, press the center one up, and then the last one press down, and it comes out just like that, okay? So after locating what your bulb is gonna be at, we find that it's actually going to be this cover right here, okay? So this one's going to be the other bulbs, like your backup, your brake light, and your side marker, but your turn signal is going to be on these side, okay? So this is actually a cover. It pops out like that. So the way I find it is I put my finger here and then pull it this way, and it just comes off really easy. So we'll put that to the side, and here's another sequence of lights. Same thing, just press the little not connectors, but the tabs. There's the plug connector is right here, so I would also recommend just disconnect it just to be safe. Push it inwards, it comes off just like that, and then just press the tabs in, and that's your bulb right there, okay? And we see that we have 2 more T10s in here, so we're also going to get replacing these with red ones, okay? So first we're going to do the turn signal. So like that, we can give you a comparison between the LED and the actual halogen. So put that to the side. We'll get the turn signal now. Okay, and pretty much, if this is your first time working with these, it could be confusing, especially if you didn't pay attention to how the bulb came out. If you just look at it normally, you see these 2 little metal flat walls right there. You have these little guides right here. If you try to just put like that, you're like, how does this go in? But pretty much what you want to have the shortest, the one that's closest to the bottom on your left and the other one on the right. And you're gonna put it in like this and then turn it, and you'll feel it slide in. When that slides in, push it down and then clockwise to lock it, okay? So these have only one way they can go in, so don't force it. If you feel resistance, it means you're putting it wrong. So make sure you just flip it over and just put it back in, okay? So at this point, what I like to do is always test. So let's plug that cable back in again. And I'll put it right there for now. And I'm gonna go turn it on. And as you can see, it's working perfectly fine, so we can shut it off and continue with the rest of the lights. So guys, there we have it. This completes the installation. We got both the T series in here. As you can see, no hyper flashing, vehicle is on, super bright. Both sides working perfectly fine. No error codes in the dashboard, which we'll show you in a bit. Show you the hazards. And everything's working good. So again, the disclaimer or the caution about these bulbs is that they're good for daily driving, but I do not recommend them for people who work in the transportation business. Do not use these, especially when you have to stop for long periods of time with your hazards on, because the way the bulb is designed is to be allowed to prevent the hyperflash. There's a built-in resistor that after a while, the little temperature sensor in it will detect if it gets hot, and when it's hot, it'll disconnect it, and that's when it'll start hyperflashing. And during that period where it's hyper flashing, it'll allow the resistor to cool down, and then it'll reconnect again, and then it'll go back to normal. So for people who tend to have their cars on stop with the hazards on for more than 5 minutes, you're usually going to experience hyper flash. If you don't want that, then I recommend do not use these. I recommend stick with the normal LEDs and wire your own resistors in, and that would avoid any issues like that. But for everyone else who doesn't want to do that and just daily drives and doesn't have to stop for long periods like that, this bulb is perfect for you. So real quick, if you can come over here real quick. We want to show them that there's no error codes. So we got the turn signal on, no errors. And if you notice this little white caution thing right here, not sure if you can see that. Let me open that for you real quick. It makes it easier if you want to bring it in. For those who might have noticed that little white triangle thing right there, let me show you that on the actual vehicle info. If we move it to status, you want to record right there, not sure if you can see that. Go all the way to check. That little other triangle we're seeing on the actual cluster, that's just telling us to set our time and date. There are no errors, as you can see. So I'm going to activate the turn signal again, just so you can see no errors are being triggered. You can see that your little arrow is not flashing really quick. Everything's working fine. Car is running, emergencies, and no issues. One thing you might have noticed in the installation earlier is that when the car is first turned on, it'll actually do a self checkup because it's trying to recognize the new LEDs, and it'll actually make the bulb flash a couple times, and once it accepts it, it'll go back to normal, and then it'll work like it's supposed to. In case the bulb was not accepted, what would happen is the bulb will trigger a code, plus it would not light up at all, or it'll just be stuck on flashing, which pretty much is signaling you that something's wrong there. But as you can see, after it reads it and everything's good, no error codes, and they work perfectly fine. So guys, if you have any questions, concerns, feel free to let us know, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. Thank you for watching.